But when I saw IGN gave it a 6.7, I was like, "Yep, I agree. It's a little bit above average. That's the game."
I bought it
But
because I was depressed.
well, I mean, a lot of the Destiny people are playing it right now. At least for the next 2 weeks, they're going to be playing it. So I would
I
say
know that I
you
know
need to
that
play now. And honestly, the trophies in that game are not that hard to get. Like
yeah,
the
I saw
achievements, you
that
just kind of get them.
Kumail got the platinum already.
Yeah, they're not that hard. Like, I mean, I think the hardest one is like kill 20 rogues in the Dark Zone, but if you're playing at level 30, there's way more, especially now, there's way more people going rogue than there were because now it actually,
No, everybody's in the fucking dark zone.
well, I mean, you can go in the Dark Zone after level 10 and it scales to your level, but
Uh, but
uh,
there are way more
nobody was
level
go
30s.
nobody was going rogue because the rewards were bullshit. Like you would
Mm,
lose a shitload of ranks and a shitload of currency for going rogue, and then if you had survived going rogue, you would get like a little bit, basically.
whatever.
It was not worth it. But now like they changed it, basically.
Hmm.
They've like patched it in the last, I think, this
Hmm.
week, and so they made that a little more like worthwhile, and I see them all the time now. So
Yeah.
uh like now it's like when my friend and I were playing on PC, we're like, shit, maybe we shouldn't go down this street because there's like a rogue that way. So it's like, okay, we'll cut through this alley and like go this way, and like that stuff's cool, but it's not Destiny. It's just like something about like that's what everybody's basically been saying. They're like, I thought this game was gonna replace it, and then it's like, no, not it's not Destiny. It's not the same.
I hope that it gets better. I hope that it brings the crowd back.
It's not a bad game.
No, no, no,
It's
no, no,
a
no. I'm just
it's an
saying,
above average game.
after this Destiny update, which we'll talk about, because I didn't watch it. I know you did, or you at least
Oh,
read about
I
it.
did. I watched it after the fact, but I read all the stuff like before, like as soon as I got out of the dentist, I was like, "What the fuck happened?" Because I need to know like now. And then when I came home, I watched the thing, and it's gonna be awesome. Can't wait.
Yeah,
I got my friend Danny a copy. Um, wow, this guy's lagging really bad. Um, because it was on sale, and he played on Xbox, but he never played with anybody. He played the game solo the whole time. And me and him
mm,
have been playing Division, and I'm like, you need to get it on PS4. You need to get it on PS4. And he's like, at some point. And I just saw it. I was like, now you have no fucking excuse. It's like, now you have to play with me. So, that'll be fun. I get to power level him and stuff.
yeah.
But,
We've talked a lot about the division on this. Okay, hold on. Welcome to the Conversationalist podcast. I'm Matt, and this is Josh, and let's
ooh,
hope this goes better than last week.
okay, what happened last week? Because you
Okay,
didn't
so
tell me.
um, it was going well. At least as far as we know, because you can't really check this right while it's going because it's a streaming
Uh-huh.
podcast. Um, but when you told me you were gonna be you're gonna be at Disneyland, I was like, okay, I need a
Yep.
guest, and I had Elaine on, and we were doing pretty well, but she had mistaken she thought that she could just come over, which is fine because I needed to make videos anyway. Um, so she came over, and it was a streaming podcast while we were sitting next to each other as opposed to on party chat.
Uh-huh.
The only problem was that we went for about an hour, and about 30 minutes in, without us knowing, the audio cut out, like
Oh,
completely.
yeah, that'll ruin it.
And I put it up anyway. I was like, God damn it, I'm gonna be consistent. But but
Gonna be
yeah, if
consistent.
you were listening last week and you were like, um, did they realize? No, we didn't realize at all. So,
Hmm.
but
Yeah.
it was I just wanted to clear the air on that. All I said was like when I put it up, I was like, "We don't realize that the audio cut out. Enjoy the silence." Like,
That's funny. Oh my
but
god.
that's right.
What's
That's a
going on?
TV.
She's like, I'll tell you what's going on. You
I'm
don't
missing
even
all my
know.
shots right now. Yes, dear. Just a
She's like,
second.
what if I told you that everything you
I see
knew
it.
was a lie? You're like, tell more.
Um,
Now I really want a picture of Barbara with sunglasses on, like doing the Morpheus thing. It's just like, what if I told you I really wanted some cheese or something?
I have a picture of her with sunglasses, but she's asleep. I should update that shit.
Oh my god.
That was like a year ago. We were on a road trip and it was like in May, so we put sunglasses on her.
Mm,
But she fell asleep because she was in the car.
that's great.
Um, so before we get into the big news of this week that I know
Oh
you're
god.
gonna love talking about. There ain't nothing over here. I don't know what I'm
You
doing
know
over
it.
here. Um, I want to talk about what we've been doing this week. You were gone last week because you went to Disneyland for
I went
your for
I went to
Nicole's birthday, right?
Disneyland and I went to Universal Studios. Um, Both were fun. I mean, I've been to Disney like a billion times, but dude, like Tomorrow World or Tomorrowland is fucking decked out right now in Star Wars stuff. It's insane,
I
like
bet.
how much Star Wars stuff there is. I mean, it's almost like a pseudo Star Wars land right now until Star Wars Land opens, in
Right.
a way. So there's just like a ton of stuff there. Um, and it's pretty awesome. They have decked out. They actually added in like a Force Awakens thing to Star Tours,
Uh-huh.
where because it's random every time you go on it. Like there's maybe like 8, and then they like randomly kind of piece them together.
Mm.
So like, oh, one time you get on, you might go to Naboo, and then like this other thing, and then another time you get on, you might go to this thing or that thing. But like they've changed it so that because Force Awakens came out, they've changed it so like there's 3, and the first one is always like Jakku, and then it's like they actually have like John Boyega like pop up, and he does the whole like Star Tours, what are you doing here, like that line or whatever, and you
Right.
fly like through wrecked Star Destroyer, like with him piloting the Millennium Falcon and stuff, and they do like the like bottom shoot the TIE fighter thing, and like it's cool. Like at one part you land in the Star Destroyer, and then like all these scavengers like start trying to take pieces off your ship and stuff. It was pretty cool. But yeah, other than that, like I mean, nothing at Disneyland was really changed. We actually thought that nobody was gonna be there that weekend. And boy howdy were we wrong, because apparently there was some like choir thing, competition thing going on, and then they all just were at fucking Disneyland. So there was just all these like high school kids everywhere. So we maybe got to ride 4 or 5 things the whole time. But it didn't really matter because we were just kind of hanging out in a way. Like, I don't think we ever set foot in Fantasyland the whole time. We were mainly in Tomorrowland like the whole time, and then Main Street and stuff. But it was still fun. And then we went to Universal Studios, and went to Harry Potter World, which like technically isn't open yet.
Right. But is it
They're
fun?
letting you come in, but they're doing like technical tests sort of. So they let you in, and you get to go on all the rides and like go to Allivanders and stuff. But uh, they have this kind of thing where like we could shut it down at any minute if something breaks, right?
Right.
Um, but it all went well. It's really cool in there. I mean, I'm not a Harry Potter super nerd. I enjoy it enough,
Mm.
but even I was like, wow, I'm pretty impressed like with the stuff, especially Allivanders. They do the whole thing with the movie where they like pick a kid out of the crowd, and then they get to like they have like a wand where they like flick it, and like stuff around the room happens. He's like, "Oh, water my plants," and the kid like flicks it at the plants. The plants go bleh, and like die. and
Uh-huh.
stuff. It's pretty sweet. I gotta admit, it was pretty fun. But yeah, and then we went to this dumpling place in LA where we had to wait like an hour and a half to even sit down. But we must have ate like 50 fucking dumplings because they were so good. They were the best.
Hmm.
They had soup in them, which is like everybody's like, how? And I'm like, I don't know, but they had soup in them.
So you just bite in and it's just like squirting hot soup in your mouth. You're like, oh, this
Well,
dumpling sounds so good, tastes so good.
well, yeah, if you eat it immediately, like the tactic that we were doing was like you would take a chopstick, you put it in a little spoon, right? You know, your little like
uh,
Chinese whatever ramen spoon, and then you would poke it and then kind of push it, and so like the broth came out of it a little bit into the spoon, and then you would blow on it so that it wasn't, scorching hot, and then you'd eat it that way.
right.
For like, and then after 5 minutes it was fine, but like, I bit into one at one point, and like all of it just went like straight down my throat. I didn't even swallow.
You're like,
And
oh
then
my god.
I just kind of sat there for a second. I was like, I'm kind of taken aback. Like, I didn't even cough. It just went, ugh. I was like, oh, what just
See,
happened?
I
But,
wish that I liked more stuff like that. Like, I'm sure I'd probably like the dumplings just
dude, you'd
fine.
like it. It was fucking
But
delicious.
like,
It
Lee
was,
and I went to this ramen place, this new ramen place in Burlingame, and it was good. But you know me, I'm not so much for vegetables and whatnot. So they had a bunch of things in there. And I was just like, can I just have noodles and pork? And you know,
no.
it was a little lackluster. They
I
did
went
it.
to
It was a little
ramen
lackluster, but it
yesterday.
was good.
I went to ramen yesterday, uh, with my friend Danny, and because there's this place like 2 blocks away from me called like Uchiwa or something, Uchiwu or something like that, and I can't remember if it ends with a U or an A. I think it's Uchiwa, but uh, really freaking good, and I like that place a lot. The best ramen in San Rafael though has to be at Sushi to Die For. That is some good ass ramen.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like ramen. But yeah, that was my weekend. That was what I did. But now it's like spring break, and I'm basically not having a spring break because there's so much magazine stuff to do that I'm just like there's too much going on,
Yeah.
and it's the
So,
worst.
so let me tell you something. I've been, I have been in the midst of this trophy war. Still,
Right.
almost done, almost done. But I don't know if people caught this. I bought the division. I still haven't even started it. I bought it last week, but I was depressed because we suffered to death in the family.
You
Um,
should, because you have to get past the opening area to even play with other people. Well, I mean, not technically, but in a way, to play with other people. There's like you start in Brooklyn and then you have to actually like get to Manhattan, but it only takes like an hour.
oh, sorry. Um, uh, but let's okay. Let's be honest here. Sorry, we got to the part where I'm customizing my character, and they're like, "What's your build?" And it's got like 3 points, like strength, skinny, and fat. And I start moving towards the fat. Like, let's be honest, all right? Let's be fucking real.
Let's be for Rizzle here.
That
And
is
uh,
that is still not nearly fat enough. Like, that's too much. That's too little. See, there's. Okay, that'll work. Sorry, guys. Um, that that'll work. But it's gonna change. All right. We're pricing fucking exercise bikes this week. We're getting one. I'm getting it.
yeah, I want one of those.
I think it'll help. I can. I don't. Here's the thing. I don't like exercising in front of people.
I just think it's boring, so if I could like, do it in my house, I feel like I'd be
Do you need help?
more inclined.
Come here, and I'll get your shoes off. Come here.
Just like, Dad, you don't fucking understand. You
Oh,
realize the
let's be real.
situation.
Let's just do it. We're modest. We're modest. I wish I could pump up my ass though.
It's like a Kardashian.
Um, yes, dear. Sorry. Come here. Come here so I can get your shoes off. If you need
She's like,
help,
I don't want these foot prisons on.
she put her sandals on. She pulled. Okay, so they're the kind of sandals that you slip your foot in, and then have the strap over your foot. She
Right.
slipped. She managed to get her foot out, but didn't get the strap off. So she's having trouble. Here, get that off of
She's
there.
having issues. She's like, survive the abortion death.
Say hi.
Hi.
All right, go play. Man, that's a lot fatter now that I have a suit on. I look like fucking William Howard Taft. That's
Would you have it
depressing.
any other way?
Let's. Okay, you know what?
Taft Enterprises. I don't. I don't know.
Okay. That's how I hope to look for my wedding. Just, or maybe you know what I like to look like for my. Not that.
Like an 1890 president.
No, no. I was
I don't know
like
when
I want to
Taft
look.
was president.
I want to look something like that for my wedding. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, that is
Well,
that is something. A lion. Okay, but fuck, what was I talking about?
I don't know.
Oh,
We were talking about
yeah,
some
we
shit.
we had a death in the family. It was very sad. Um,
Oh yeah.
and I was depressed, so I got the division, but I still haven't even started it.
You should, I'm telling you, if you really wanted to be like up and up on this trophy war, like that's a good place to start because they're pretty easy. They're just kind of time consuming. I think I have like most of them after 50 hours.
It was actually pretty
Um,
accurate for the most part, except for my nose.
yeah. I mean, it's they're not even that difficult. I haven't even really looked at them. They pop up a lot. I'm like, oh, okay, cool, I guess. But I'm playing on PC, but I'm pretty sure they're the exact same thing. Because I'm just like upgrading my wings and stuff, and they're like popping up. I'm like, yep, okay.
um, I didn't start it because I had the trophy war. There's no way I'm gonna win the trophy war. Although
Well, no.
last I checked, I was like ranked 18 out of like 250. So that's pretty, and that's I'm kind of proud of that. But um, there was no way I was gonna win it. This was really a chance
Uh-huh.
for me to be like, I haven't had time to get back to like platinuming the Uncharted collection. I really wanted to play Final Fantasy VII, but it's so easy to get distracted from that game. So that was my chance to do that, and I wanted to platinum Vice City. Here's the problem with Vice City. You'll remember in my first episode. In our first episode, we did. That's not what I want. That's how I want it. In our first episode, I was playing Vice City. I was doing Brown Thunder, which is a weird name, but
Sounds like a
sounds like a
gay
code name
black
for
stripper name.
poop.
I
But
got the Brown Thunder.
I got the Brown Thunder going on here. But yeah.
It's Taft. Huh?
But so I was trying to raise my Godfather ranking. I have to stop customizing right now so I can explain this accurately. Here's how Godfather ranking works. It, a Godfather ranking is based on a point system in the game. That is, here's how the points work. You get 1 point for killing for per person killed, 1 point per car exploded. You get 5 points per point of percentage and accuracy. You get 5 points per every $5,000 earned up until you max out your money at 100 million. No, no, I'm sorry. It's a billion, I believe.
Oh, a billion.
I believe it's $1 billion. So, but 999,999,999 to be real.
Ooh.
Coming up all nines. Hey, stop it! Stop it! Um, let go of that cord. Let go of that cord. Um,
Stop it. I will destroy you.
I can make another one look just like you. Um, so
Ooh.
the highest point value awarded to you is 30 points per chopper destroyed. Godfather ranking is 1,000,000 points. It's actually pretty accurate. Um,
Well.
yeah. So you'd think to yourself, oh, that's not too bad. It's just kind of time consuming. And that would
Alright.
be true if it weren't for the accuracy rating. See, I have 3 saves currently, and one of which is 100% of the game. The other is halfway through the game, the one that I was doing with Adam.
Uh-huh.
And then the third one is the new save, the brand new save where I've only done a few missions. Up, 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 up. Thank you, thank you. But you okay? You all right? You
Oh.
stub your toe? Don't touch that. That's
She's
that's
not
the
happy.
Ethernet. That's the Ethernet cable. Don't touch that. Um,
She's like, Dad, I swear to God.
the thing about the accuracy rating, the accuracy percentage is measured by bullets fired and bullets hit. So bullets fire.
Right.
So if you want your points to go up faster, your bullets hit has to go high, has to be much higher than your bullets fired. And there's an exploit you can do where you have to like find 80 hidden packages, the collectibles. You gotta, and then you can unlock the Sea Sparrow. You grab the Sea Sparrow, take it over to a lot, bring a car around, explode the car with the minigun, let go of that cord, and then just keep firing on it. Put a rubber band around the controller and keep firing on the truck. Because the minigun turret, it doesn't count towards bullets fired, but it does count towards bullets hit, even though that car is already exploded. So
Hmm.
I get 1,000,000 points. But the thing is that you can't just get 1,000,000 points. You have to max out your money. How do you max out your money? You gotta do
Don't
missions.
max out your money.
You gotta do missions and stuff. Very limited amount of things and of missions and activities. Got 1,000,000 points, right? I'm trying to earn money. It's a little while later that I realize that I go to check it again and realize that I've lost points because it turns out that the accuracy percentage is flawed because bullets fired also counts bullets fired at you
Well, shit.
by cops and criminals. So I got in trouble, and because they don't have the accuracy that I have, it's lowering my percentage. I'm like, what the fuck?
That's weird.
But what's
Well,
worse
that
is
makes zero fucking sense.
it does make zero fucking sense because it's your personal statistics.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that's
what's
dumb.
worse is that because they don't have your accuracy and they're missing, it's bringing down your accuracy percentage. And when it brings down your accuracy percentage, it brings down your points drastically.
Hmm.
So after about 15 minutes, I looked and I was back down to like 400,000 points. And I was literally like, I thought I was going to have a brain aneurysm. I was like, what? Like, I was like almost in tears telling them, I was like, why is this happening? Why are they doing this to me? What am I doing wrong? Like, I didn't know what was going on. but I found a way, and I'm going to get that platinum. I'm getting it. I've earned it. All right, it belongs to me. Ooh, hard
It'll
rock.
be it'll be okay.
I mean, it's.
I
I'm
promise
serious.
you.
Like, I look at it this way. Years ago, a few years ago, I decided to get the. I got the idea to try to platinum Dead Space, and
I almost did that.
I almost did. Dead Space is a fine game. I've played it twice before. I even decided to try to platinum it. Those are the movies. Please don't touch them. Go play with your toys.
Go play with your fucking toys.
Um, that is an awful haircut. I gotta be honest with you. Like, um, Dead Space is a fine game. I played it twice before I even tried to get the trophies, and then I played it three more times trying to get all of them. And by the time I had only one trophy left, which was beat it on the hardest difficulty, I was pretty burned out. But I was like, let's try it, let's try it, and I made it maybe the second level, I think. Uh, before I got to the first of many where sections where like it's just a bunch of necromorphs in a big open area trying to kill you. And necromorphs are like zombies, so there's really no strategy to Dead Space. It's just try not to die.
Uh-huh.
So I couldn't do it. Oh, I'm not dying now. I'm customizing. Yup, customizing. Um, Jesus Christ. I'm just looking at all these hairstyles. Um, but I just couldn't make it. I couldn't do it. And I was like, I can't do it. And I turned away. I was like, I can't platinum this game. It's too much. But I was so close. I was almost there. That one trophy was left, and that was a fine game. I like Dead Space just fine. But Vice City is one of my one. Here's the thing with Vice City. All right, you know that I have three favorite long-standing franchises: Grand Theft Auto, Metal Gear Solid, and Resident Evil. I've never platinumed a game from any of them, right? So
Right.
Vice City is one of my yes, I'm right here. I can hear you. Vice City is one of my favorite games out of my favorite franchise, and I figured it's possible. I could do it,
Mm-hmm.
and I wanted to go for it. This is going to be the first game out of one of my favorite franchises that I would ever platinum. So it means more. It means like 10 times more than Dead Space is. And now here I am in the same spot. Jesus Christ. Here I am in the same spot as I was with Dead Space, except now it means so much more. And I don't want to
Uh-huh.
turn away from it because I have one trophy left, and God damn it, I will not let this game beat me.
Your rubber band thing reminded me of Kingdom Hearts,
Yeah.
Birth by Sleep. They had a like a mod that you could put in your boots, where your
Hmm.
boots would have this perk or whatever that said like for every step you take, you get 1 XP.
Hmm.
And by all accounts, it's a shitty perk. It sounds cool, but it's shitty, right? It's
Right.
like, you could put something that helps you actually kill monsters in there and probably level up way fucking faster. But what I did is I would actively seek those out, and then when I went to bed, I would put like I would go to this is the only place you could do it was in Olympus. And I would go to the
I'm
Olympus
hearing you.
Coliseum and you could run around in a complete circle,
Hmm.
basically.
Yeah,
And you
I
would
think I've
angle
heard
the
about that.
stick. Yeah, you would angle the stick just right. You'd stick like a pencil in the stick so that you just ran around in this perfect circle the
Hmm.
whole time. And I would wake up and I would have leveled up like 10 times or something. And then you're like, oh yeah, instead it took away a lot of the grind. I actually kind of liked doing that.
Yeah.
And of course, Alan and Miguel got all mad at me. They're like, "You're not playing the game right." It's like, you know what, man? I don't have all this time. I got a lot of other things to play. I want to get through this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I oh man, I just finally picked my hairstyle, and now I'm like beard. Oh shit. Like, this is the stuff I spend the most time on in customization. Watch, I'm never gonna get
Beards.
to the actual game. I'm gonna fucking like the whole show's just gonna be me customizing the character.
You're gonna be like Nicole. She always takes like an hour. She was so mad when she started playing the Division. Like there are barely any customization
I
options. She's
noticed
like,
that
"This
when
is
I played the
lame." I was
beta.
like, yeah, whatever. I mean,
I
everyone
know
looks the same in that game anyway. They just all look angry. They just look like angry, cold people. That's that's the whole game.
it's true. They do.
Like,
But
yeah, and I mean, I could talk about that game for a long time, but I'm
but
not going to.
now that that is out of the way, let's talk about Destiny, huh?
Yes, let's, because that is that is something.
Oh yeah?
And
I didn't
yeah,
watch it.
so yeah,
I
they
didn't watch it. So you tell me all about it.
okay. Well, there's another one next Wednesday. There's gonna be two more streams and then the patch releases. So, we know about the new stuff to do. We don't know about the new stuff. We know about a few of the new things you'll be able to get, sort of, like in vague terms. But next week they're gonna talk about like all the gear and the rewards and stuff you're gonna be able to earn in the new patch. But this is what we know about the patch so far. It comes out April 12th, which is the same day as Dark Souls 3, which for me kind of sucks. I want to play both. It really sucks. But and I'll probably end up playing Dark Souls the night before because I'll have it preloaded. But you know, whatever. Uh,
Right.
so April 12th, it comes out. It's free if you own the Taken King. Um, it's basically the Prison of Elders is coming back. They're not taking away any of the Prison of Elders wings that currently exist.
Hmm.
So you'll still be able to go fight Skolas and shit. They're adding two
Skolas.
more wings. So they're adding a new wing that's level 41, and it requires you to be 260 light. And you can queue into it.
Hmm.
And, so you don't need friends to play it. You can queue into it, and every week you do it, you'll be able to open the chest without a key. And there's something called a glimmered treasure or something like that. We don't know what that is. We're gonna find out next week what those are. But the idea is that you're gonna be able to earn like some nice new loot from that.
Hmm.
Cool. Then they're adding another wing to the Prison of Elders that's level 42 and requires you to be level 320 light, which right now is the maximum. But once the April update comes out, the new maximum light level will be 335.
Hmm.
To account for this, they're actually bumping up Kingsfall loot higher. So they're going to bump up the normal loot from 300 to 310 to now 310 to 320. And the hard loot is going to be 320 to 330. And then when you play Prison of Elders, you'll be able to get 335 gear.
Uh-huh.
So the way the second one works, the level 42 one, is that you can't queue into it. You have to have people to play with. So it's like sort of raid-ish content. You need to have two other people to play with. And it's basically 3 rounds. Every round is a boss. And it's, instead of like surviving and actually just beating it like normal Prison of Elders was, that one is called Challenge of the Elders.
Okay.
And the way it works is similar to actually Trials of Osiris. You go to the reef,
Yeah.
and Varix will now sell these things called Challenge of Osiris, like banners or something, sigils or some shit. I don't remember what they're called. But basically, you pay like 100 glimmer, and it's this sigil thing that you can use once a week, and it has 2 things on it. So there's if you get 30,000 points in one run, you'll unlock a weapon. Guaranteed weapon. Legendary. Right?
Right. Right.
And then there's the other one that's cumulative, which is 900,000 points, which means like you'll have to run it like a couple times a week. But you'll get a piece of armor, and they said that they're basically going to be guaranteed 335 pieces of armor, which is great because like right now there's no guaranteed way to get, you know, like 320 stuff, which is like a huge problem, and people are grinding like hundreds of hours just trying to, you know, get min-maxed. Like there's this saying like forever 319, which is basically where I am right now. Although I think I'm like 318, and I've done King's Fall like 15 times probably. For a while I had done it every week after launch. For a while,
Right.
and I never hit 320, so that should give you a sense. But basically, you're gonna get guaranteed 335 like weapons and stuff. The weapons have new perks on them, which they showed the images of, but they didn't actually explain what the perks are because that's for next week. They also are bringing back a lot of the old Prison of Elders gear, like, so I think sniper rifles like her Benevolence and Queenbreaker's bow and stuff I think are coming back. I could be wrong about that, but I think we're going to learn about that next week. And next week we're probably going to learn about Year 1 exotics that are coming back, and I imagine a lot of the Prison of Elders Year 1 exotics will actually make a return. So hopefully that's what's happening, but like I say, we don't really know.
Won't know till next week.
No. Next week is the stuff you can earn, which they're going to talk about. Like, they teased us, like, so much in that stream about that stuff. Like, when they went to the reef, they're like, oh, hey, you know, the postmaster has something, but, you know, we'll probably check that next week. And it's like, damn it! Like, just show me! You know? So, who knows? Like, we only know a third of the stuff, but, we know there's going to be new stuff to earn, which probably is new exotics, which is why I've been literally saving all of my exotic and legendary engrams in the vault. I have not been decrypting them because when the new patch comes out, like, your exotics are decided when you decrypt them, not when you, like, you know, receive them, which is what it used to be, but it's not the case anymore. So, if you hoard them, like, there's a chance you will get the new stuff. So I'm hoarding all my exotics, hopefully that way I can, like, decrypt them and be like, oh, hey, I got one of the new ones, you know? So that's happening, and other than that, I mean, there's not... Oh, and, okay, other thing they're adding, they talked about. There's gonna be a new quest line that is an epilogue to Taken King, which... basically, do you remember that mission where you're in the dark and you fight that dude with the sword, basically?
Sorry, repeat that. I didn't hear that.
Oh, so you remember that mission in Taken King, the Strike, where you're in the dark and you have to fight the dude with the sword?
Oh, yeah.
So his master or whatever, or himself, he's like basically vying for Oryx's spot because there's a power vacuum now after that you've killed him. So there's a brand new quest called Pretender to the Throne or something, and you're gonna play through this quest line that's gonna tell like another story. So we're getting story content, and then at the end there's going to be a strike called the Blighted Chalice, which is brand new. And then I think they're also updating one of the older Year 1 strikes to have like a Taken variant, because they did that for a couple of them. So I think it's the Winter's Run, I think, is the one that's being updated, which I think was a House of Wolves strike, is now getting a Taken version of it. So that's cool. That's basically all the new stuff that they're talking about. But so Prison of Elders, new quest line with a story, a new strike. And then we know that there's updated gear coming, and we know that the third stream they're going to do before the patch launches is about balance changes. So Hopefully they nerf sniper rifles into the ground because I'm so fucking tired of people sniping me from 4 feet away. It is literally the worst. It's the worst feeling. I hate it so much. And, yeah, I mean, that's basically it right now. That's what we know. 335 Light, Prison of Elders, coming back, and an end game PvE activity that's not as demanding or as, like, repetitive as raiding, I want to say, is coming, which is awesome. Because honestly, like the game's been so PvP focused for endgame players, uh, like PvE people haven't really, other than raids, which kind of don't have the element of randomness that Prison of Elders has,
Uh-huh.
have been kind of just sitting there wondering, like, well, when am I going to get something for me to do, you know? Because it's mostly been PvP, like they had SRL and all these things, and now, you know, now they have their thing, basically, which is going to be awesome. I'm excited, and I'm glad they made it 3 rounds instead of 5, and it's basically like a boss mode now instead of this really long, intensive thing, you know, that takes like maybe a couple hours to do. Maybe it'll take you an hour to do it, but I actually never finished talking about Challenge of the Elders, but basically, yeah, you pay into it, and then you have points that you have to accrue to get armor and weapons and stuff. But basically, it's instead of just surviving, it's on a points system now, and the factors change every week. So the one that they showed off to describe it was they had precision shots give you double the points. So like everybody on the team was like basically trying to really aim really well and get those precision shots because they wanted to get their high scores. And then there's other things that's like small arms, which is like, oh, sidearms and stuff do more damage than other stuff. And they have other things like that. So there's all these little kind of variables that you want to play with. The other thing is like you're not only trying to get a high score, but you're trying to do it quickly, because if you don't finish under 5 minutes, if you don't finish the round under 5 minutes, Varix gets impatient, and when he gets impatient, he starts decreasing your high score.
Well, fuck.
So, yeah, so you have to. So not only are you trying to get a lot of points quickly, well, I guess yeah, you're trying to get a lot of points, but you're also trying to do it in a timely manner. So
Right.
you can't just sit in the round for like 20 minutes, like getting headshots and being like, yeah, like we're, you know, I have this high score, I'm badass. It's like, no, you have to do it like in a time limit, which is what makes it compelling. And also it'll be like, when you kill the boss, it's like over. So you're kind of like, the way they were doing it was like, well, we're running out of time, but we have to try and get more headshots to kill these waves so we can hit our 300,000 score, but we only have like a minute before he gets impatient and starts decreasing our score. So it's like this, you know, they're trying to beat the clock and stuff, but it looks really cool. I like what they've done. The update looks really fun. I mean, it's probably going to pull me back in for a couple months, honestly. Which makes me happy. And we know that there is possibly another update. They haven't announced another update, but we know that in September we're getting another like paid Taken King expansion, something big. So will this, the question is this patch gonna last another another 5 months? Because it's been 6 months since Taken King.
Right.
So it's been a while. So the big question is it gonna last? And I think it will, because I mean, a lot of the reason the game survives is things like Trials of Osiris, but and now that PvE has something akin to it, I think it'll be okay. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see the new shit we get to earn though next week, and I'm excited. There's actually like, just like in Vanilla Destiny, there was an actual path to maxing out your character as opposed to you know,
Yeah.
just grinding endlessly, which is what it is right now. Um, so it'll be cool. I imagine all of the people in our clan who are currently playing the Division are going to come back because why wouldn't you?
Yeah. See, and that's because, of course, we have to talk about the division because we do it in like every episode.
Uh-huh.
That's what I hope that the division will be able to do as well. I just
Yeah, I
bought it.
wonder about that.
Haven't even started. I hope that that it comes back. It's you can tell that the division is trying to be Destiny. It's trying to
It
be the next
is.
Destiny, and it's not Destiny yet, but it is fun. And I just want it to have that kind of
See, I don't know that it
replay
ever.
value.
I don't know that it ever will be, because I think the end game of the Division is kind of.
I just hope that it has the chance to like just keep bringing players back like Destiny does. Where like here you are, you just a couple weeks ago you were like, you know what, I'm so bored with Destiny because there's nothing to do. I've done everything a million times. And now here's this update, and you're like, I'm back in Destiny, bitch. And I
Yeah.
hope that that's what Division does, is where it's like, I'm not interested in Division right now because there's nothing to do right now. And then an update comes, and it's like, I'm back in the Division.
Yeah. I mean, I'm at the end game now. My friend and I hit level 30 Tuesday, I think. And we kind of both reached this point where we're like, we beat the story. We're basically replaying the story on a harder difficulty. And then we're playing dailies to get, like, Phoenix credits to get, a yellow M4 that's better. For some reason, the end game of the Division is just not as compelling as
Hmm.
Destiny's, because it's like, at the end of the day, it's like, oh, I got a better AK. I'm not sure what I was expecting.
Right.
Um, which is, it's fine, I guess. I don't find the world all that compelling, and I think that the end game is kind of lackluster in a way. It's just like this one activity that you can do. It's like go to the Dark Zone. And I mean, they're going to add the incursion
Yeah.
next month, which
Right.
I'm interested in playing. I'm going to come back to it when I play that. Uh, but right now I'm like, we kind of just are like, I don't know what else to do, because what was keeping us going was like, oh, we're progressing, but now it's more like, oh,
Like,
we
well, I've
have to
hit
go to the
max
Dark Zone.
level, so now what? Yes,
Yeah,
Barbara.
and well, now it's like we have to go to the Dark Zone, and the Dark Zone is fun. It's interesting, right? But
Right.
the problem is they have this ranking system, um, and the ranking system takes fucking forever. It takes an eternity, and you have to get to Dark Zone rank 30 to even
Right.
get anything compelling. Like, I mean, you'll find armor and weapons and stuff when you're playing in there, but all of the vendors that sell, like, the really interesting shit all require you to be, like, rank 30 or rank 50 to even buy it. So it's like, so you're basically asking me to just go in this area and grind for, like, hours and hours so that I can get a better gun that's basically the same as, I mean, with a couple extra, like, things, it's more or less the same as the other gun that
Mm.
I already have. It's just maybe more accurate or something. It's just like not as compelling. At least with I find that with Destiny, like the weapons and stuff are actually like interesting in a way because they're so unique and they're like, they're like fucking, it's like the the what's it, the Touch of Malice.
Touch of malice.
Like when you read the description of Touch of Malice, it's like made out of the heart of Oryx. It's like you literally made a gun out of him,
Right.
basically.
Right.
That's super cool. And like all the raid weapons are like forged from the from like the bones and the
Yes,
flesh of
baby.
the fucking bosses and stuff. It's like that is super cool. It's like, oh, I found an AK, you know, and you're like, oh, okay, you know. And then there's also just I feel like there's none of the like unicorn weapons, as we like to put them, where it's like these things you really want to find. Whereas in Destiny, it's like, man, I looked for a last word for like 2 months before I got one.
Right.
And when I got one, I was like so excited. And it's like Gallahorn. Like everybody wanted to find Gallahorn. Gallahorn was so fucking hard to find. People raided for 3 months trying to fucking find Gallahorn. And I'm not saying like you should be raiding for 3 months to find Gallahorn, but goddamn, dude,
But
was it like orgasmic when
everyone
you
wanted it.
finally got it? You know. It's just because stuff like that is, I don't know, it's compelling. Like when you actually
finally
think
get
about
it,
it.
you know?
Yeah, and the reason people want it is because they're
It's a
so
chase,
unique.
you know?
It's like, yeah, they're so unique. It's like no gun in the game does what Gallahorn does, you know? And no gun in the game does what Last Word does, and no gun in the game does what Bad Juju does, you know? There's a reason the guns are special, and they change the way you play the game. Whereas in the Division, it's like every time you play the game, you're playing it basically the same. And I mean, that might change when the Incursion comes out, but right now it's just like not a lot of variety. Once you're done with the really bland and boring story, you're just kind of like, alright, I've progressed. Now what? You know? But, and it sounds like I'm hating on the game. I enjoyed my time with it. I just, it is not the Destiny killer that people thought it was going to be. It is
I
far
didn't
from
expect it to kill Destiny. I just
it.
wanted
A
it
lot
to
of people did.
be as good as Destiny, you know?
I don't think it's as good as Destiny. I think in its current state,
Or at least have that kind of replayability that Destiny has.
I don't think it will. Destiny largely survived because of its PvP, and Division doesn't really have that. I mean, you could make the case that the Dark Zone is the PvP mode, but I would say it's not really. It's its own kind of unique thing that doesn't really. It's strange. Like it doesn't really act as a PvP mode. It acts as kind of like its own separate game in a way. But even then, it's like not as compelling. You're also doing PvE in the Dark Zone, also mostly PvE actually. The only time you do PvP is usually when someone fucks with you, or if you're making a point to actually go fuck with somebody else.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't. I try to just get my shit and get out.
I want it to
But
gradually evolve
yeah,
into more of an MMO, I think. That's what I want.
yeah. These games spark an interesting question. It's like, is the MMO, the traditional MMO, like dead? And it's kind of looking that way because, I mean, EverQuest Next just got canceled because they said, oh, we couldn't find the fun in it. Although that game was, you could argue, was a little too ambitious for what they were trying to do. And then that game WildStar, which is not a bad game by all accounts, but it's like just not finding a player base. Like they just laid off half their workers. Like somehow Secret World still survives. I don't know how. Elder Scrolls Online doesn't have a subscription anymore. Like it's
Right.
buy to play, and that game honestly to me is not very good.
Which
WoW
is
still
too
has a
bad.
lot of players, but it's still kind of like not any. It'll never be where it was in '06, you know, with 12 million people.
Right.
It's just like that traditional game is just, and nobody wants to make the traditional MMO anymore anyway because they are huge money sinks.
Yeah.
Like they cost 5 times what a normal game costs because of server upkeep, because the worlds are so large, because they have to like have multiple servers running all these things, and they expect, and then after all that investment, they have to have millions of people playing it and paying money. to even like cover the cost of making it. It's like the MMO is like a product of the early 2000s, like late 90s that just doesn't click much anymore unless it's in like Asian markets. Um,
Right.
where like that kind of grindy game kind of works. But now it's like we're getting all these pseudo MMO games like Destiny and stuff, which I still argue is an MMO. It's just a much different take on it.
Right.
I hate when people are like, it's not an MMO. I'm like, it is.
Like,
I'm
it's
sorry.
totally an MMO.
Literally everything about its systems, other than the actual shoot, like the gameplay, the moment-to-moment gameplay, is
And
an MMO.
kind of an open world where like, I mean, you have to fly to planets. So, but like a
Yeah.
big, large open world like Azeroth or something like that, uh,
Yeah.
where you can just run into other players willy nilly, you know?
Yeah, I mean that is partially like one of the things. I mean, when you're on patrol, you run into people, but the
Right.
problem is nobody really does patrol because there's nothing compelling to do in it.
Exactly. Yeah. It's just for, you know,
Which,
the only time I ever patrol is when it's for a bounty.
right. And I don't even do those anymore. I mean, I'm gonna probably do them when I'm trying to power level my friend because I literally have one subclass that I don't have finished.
Uh,
And yeah, I mean, Destiny has its problems, but I think above all, it's a really good game, and it's definitely an MMO. Like all the rep systems, all of the like the even the term raid is a fucking MMO like term. Uh,
right.
it's an MMO activity. Like the fact that there's like different currencies and there's people running around in a world like that. Yes. And yeah, it's not like Azeroth where you're just running across a field and all of a sudden you see like a bunch of people and you
Right.
can interact with them. Sure, it's not like that. And I wish it was more like that, but
That would be
at the end of
fun.
the day, it is what it is.
The
You know, it's
closest
it's
that we
Halo
have,
meets World of Warcraft.
I feel like the closest that we have to an MMO, the closest that I have to an MMO, I should say, because I'm sure you have something.
I
That's
mean, I'd play
more,
WoW when expansions
yeah,
come out.
is Grand Theft Auto. You know, it's one big map. You get up to 30 players, just run around, either fucking with each other or working together. Mostly fucking with each other because people are awful, and and that's pretty much the closest. You know,
Right. Oh
so
yeah, exotic engram.
I'd really like the division to be more like that.
Yeah, it's funny. Like, outside of the Dark Zone, you don't run into a single fucking person.
Yeah, it's basically
Like,
a single player game until the Dark
it's
Zone.
basically a single player game, which people like Colin Moriarty would be like, yeah, that's the way I like it. But that's not the way I like it, honestly.
Yeah, I
I
like to
hate
play
the
with
whole,
other
like, I
people.
don't want to. Yeah, I really don't understand the.
Sometimes, I mean,
I
sometimes you
understand,
want
like,
to be
wanting a
alone.
good story. Yeah, I
Sometimes you,
understand wanting a really good story in a game. I really get that. Because I love good stories, you know? I love, like, you know, Blizzard stories are pretty, like, by the books, but I love them anyway. And I like the world of Destiny, and I like the stories that are told, like, behind the scenes and stuff, and, um, I also, I mean, there's a lot of games that I really enjoy, but I don't understand this, like, need to be like, oh, I don't want to like interact with anyone. Period. I don't get that because to me the fun really for me in games really comes from like the sharing of it. Uh,
right? And I
like I
agree
don't
with
want
you.
to just yeah I don't want to just sit in my room beat Tomb Raider or something, which I really need to get back to. Beat Tomb Raider and then be like, well, that was fun, and then just move on to the next thing. I love like talking about it with my friends,
That
and I
was a good
love,
time.
yeah, I love playing. Like Destiny would be the most boring fucking game ever if it didn't have its social aspects. Like, sure, the shooting is great and all that, but like the fun of it is like the first time you beat Oryx with your 5 friends and you all fucking get up and scream because it's like amazing, you know. You just spent like 20 hours in this raid and all of a sudden you fucking finally did it, you know?
Right.
Like that is the shit that I crave. And like even a good example of just like sharing of games. I started playing the game Stardew Valley. I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
I've never heard of this.
So it's a PC game right now. It's probably gonna come to consoles at some point, but it's basically Minecraft meets uh, Animal Crossing. So, which and the Minecraft elements are very much like limited. It's not as like crazy as Minecraft, but like it is very much like Animal Crossing. But the concept of the game is I really love the opening of it, by the way, too. It actually has a story which surprised me. I thought it was just gonna be like, here's your town, like start doing shit. But the opening of the game is like your grandfather is on his deathbed, and he has this note, and he says like, keep this note, like don't open it until you reach like a really unsatisfied and unfulfilled point in your life. Like just keep it away, and when you feel like in your darkest moment, like open this note. And then your grandfather dies, and then it shows you working at this like giant dead-end job. There's like millions of people in all these cubicles, and they zoom in on your character like in their cubicle, and you can tell like, oh, this is probably the darkest point in their life. They open the note, and the note says like and it says your name because you like actually create a character and stuff, and it's like, I have this farm, like on this land. I had it for years and years and years, and I haven't used it, and I can tell you're at the darkest moment of your life, and you need a change. And it's like I want you to go and like tend to the farm and like do all this stuff, and it will help you get away from the normal monotony of life and actually help you engage with like a community for once and engage with people and all these things. It's like this really beautiful message, and then you get to the farm and it's all fucked up and there's like garbage everywhere and you have to clean it, and then you get a dog, and you can there's like a relationship thing where you talk to people in the town and you can like marry them and you build stuff on your property, and it's like really really good. But like the whole sharing aspect of it is like everyone's playing it right now, and I went to dinner for my girlfriend's birthday, and another person that she works with was there, and we've both been playing it, and we just like nerded out about it. And like that's the stuff that is fun about games, is like sharing it. So the whole idea, this whole fucking I just want to sit in my room alone and play a 100-hour RPG is like really sad to me. Like, I don't,
Right.
not sad like you're wasting your life. Sad like an actual like, oh, that's sad. Like,
Like, I mean, I can get it for some, like Nino Kuni or whatever, but when this is like, I don't know, it doesn't
but
feel right.
even then I sort of like the idea of like even just trading the controller back and forth. Like
Right.
the first time Alan and I played God of War, we played it together by trading the controller back and forth, and then we fought Ares for like 2 hours before we killed it. But like, I'll always remember that experience, like playing God of War. I mean, yeah, the story of God of War. I think the story of God of War 1's fine, but like God of War as its story is probably not the best writing in any in like video games, and Kratos, you can argue, is not a very good character. But in the end of the day, that kind of shit does not matter to me. What matters to me is like
Uh-oh.
sitting. Uh-oh.
You alright? What happened? What
She's not
happened?
happy.
Oh. Yeah. What's wrong? You're drooling all over the place, kiddo.
Jeez.
Come here. Come here. Come here. Oh, what's the matter? You miss mommy.
I'm moving. I'm moving.
Yeah.
I'm moving.
You miss her.
I'm moving.
You should have given her a hug.
I'm moving.
It's true.
I'm moving.
She's staying out late tonight. You're not gonna see her till tomorrow.
I'm moving.
And you messed up. I told you. Now was the time. Give her a hug
Moving.
before she leaves for work. You didn't want to.
You didn't listen.
I'm moving.
You didn't listen. A movie?
Yeah.
Is that what you want? You want movies?
She's
You're like, I could
"Mommy."
I could give a fuck about mom, alright?
I can't.
What movie? What movie?
In the box.
Oh, on the shelf? Just all the movies? Not a particular one, you just want all the movies? Is that what you want? Yes.
She's crazy.
That is Iron Man. That is the Iron Man movie. You are correct.
Yeah,
Yes, I
God of
just
War. I'll never forget that experience.
Well, I mean that's also what making videos does too. Like it just puts a it just makes it more, I don't know, concrete. Like you never have to forget it, because if you did forget it, you could go back to the video and be like, oh yeah, I remember when we all played Battlefront and argued about, you know, whether it was whether redundant and repetitive or meant the same thing.
Yeah, repetitive and redundant. Yeah, they don't. It's very nuanced, but they don't mean the same thing.
Nuanced.
I was like, you're a
So,
fucking teacher.
like, okay.
You're teaching your kids lies. I got another exotic.
But
I'll pop that in my
oh,
bank.
did I tell you? Did I tell you? I told Elaine because she was here. But did I tell you that Alan, not our Alan, but fucking Alan Muir, talked trash on our new podcast name?
Why?
He thought it was boring.
Well, sorry.
He was like, I was like, I put up a fucking, what was it, last week or the week before, I think. I put up the link. I was like, the Conversationalist starts now, because that was our new name, which is what it is now. And he just comments like, seriously, of all the names? I was like, look, motherfucker, listen here, you little shit.
Yeah, let me just look at the list of every name and find one that's never been used.
Yeah, and I was like, listen here, you little shit. All right,
Are we still streaming?
yes. I said, look, man, I came to you guys. I came to the big chat room. I was like, hey, party chat was taken. I need a new name, and nobody came forth. I look to you, Alan. I look to you for help. You're the one that gave me this great clan name for Grand Theft Auto. I was like, he might have a name. He's really creative.
Is it the Butt Clan?
No, no, it was Vengeance Guides Us because we were VGU at the time.
Ah.
And
VGU.
I was like, he's creative. He'll know. But I didn't get nothing. I didn't get nothing from no one. So I made my
I'm
own
sure
goddamn
he'll know.
name. I made my own goddamn name, and maybe it's a little plain, but it rings true. We are conversationalists, and we're having a conversation. All right, talking trash. All right. That being said, this was the Conversationalist podcast. Whether you like it or not, this was the Conversationalist.
Whether you like it or not, go to hell.
I'm Matt. This is Josh.
That's my name.
You can find us at Toaster Chimp. Look for us on the webs, and you can find us on Twitter. I'm Mattman07. Josh is the Jawa Josh. You can find us on PSN. Yes, I'm almost done. You can wait. You can find us on PSN. I'm Mattman310. You can still wait. And Josh is Packpunk. That's Pacpunk. And this was the Conversationalist. We'll see you next week. Let's hope we didn't lose audio. Until next time.